Hey. Oh, look at it. Woo, this is nice. This is nice.
Now, I gotta get you to sign a waiver, man. I can't give you this unless you sign a waiver.
What up, Rodney? Boy, this your speed right there. You should have had this more. You should have had this more a long time ago.
Yeah, you get ready to sign the waiver.
Man, let me read what they say,
Look at
man.
these friends so you can sign a waiver.
Wait, hold on, BZ on Thursday night celebration. Oh man, appreciate it.
Hey,
Oh man, 10 years. Oh man, appreciate it,
Hey,
man.
man, look at the back of it now.
Wait,
Do that, look at the
let's
back
see,
of
let's
it.
see what it say. Hold on.
And that's why you gotta sign the waiver for the back of it now.
Oh, let me open this up. Let's see what we got going on. 7 7 reasons a woman cannot be a.
Hey, you get a lot of greetings on the front.
According to scripture, biblical teaching on male leadership, the Bible designates male leadership in the church. Hey, as long as we got scripture, we good.
Hey, ain't nothing but scriptures right there, bro. And that's from the King James. They said they live it by.
Time to tamper with easy on Thursday night. Oh man, I like this.
Hey.
Y'all all right, Jakarta? Okay. It was a stormy night. You know the kind where the lightning strike. And I was hanging out with some of my aunts. We the night was long, the night went out. People cooling out to the break of dawn. Incense was burning, so I'm feeling See, I picked my friends like I picked the fruit. And Candy told me that when I was only a youth, I don't walk around trying to be what I'm not. I don't waste my time trying to get what you got. Working pleasing me, cause can't please you. And that's why I do what I do. My soul fly free like willow tree. And if you don't wanna sit down with me, you don't wanna break my apple tree. And if you don't wanna sit down with me, if you don't wanna sit down with me, you don't wanna break my apple tree. Don't wanna sit down with me, you just don't wanna sit down.
Oh yes. Oh yes. BzNz is back in the building. Come on somebody. BzNz is back in the building, and I know I ain't gotta tell you what to do. I know I ain't gotta tell you. There it is. There it is. Give yourselves a round of applause. Come on, give yourselves a round of applause. No, I ain't gotta tell you what to do. I know that. I know that much right there. I know that much right there. Well, welcome tonight once again to the BzNz Internet Talk Radio Show, where I am indeed your gracious host, Tyron Joe. And let me go ahead and put the announcements up right now, because we are indeed full stream ahead in our summer solstice programming. We are indeed full stream ahead in our summer solstice programming. And before we go any further in the program tonight, we must pay our dues and our respect to Mother Khadijah Farrakhan, the wife of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and hang on one second. I want to put this on. I want to put her picture up. I want everybody to see her. Mother Khadijah Farrakhan. And real quick, we want to just have a moment of silence. All right. May she rest in peace. May she rest in She was married to the Minister Louis. She was married to the Minister Louis Farrakhan for 73 years. 73 years. Give that marriage a round of applause. And she was 90 years old. Give her another round of applause. 90 years old. Next week, I will be back in the building for the lecture. I thought this week, I said this week is the beginning of a new month, July. It's just, and then it's the beginning of a, not say the beginning, but holiday weekend. So I said, what better topic are we going to talk about tonight other than Juneteenth? Because you know what? We didn't even get a chance. We did not even get a chance to speak about Juneteenth. We had a lot going on. So we pretty much, we had Carl. We had Carl there that week. And then we the next week we had King Dwayne speaking to us. And man, what a great lecture that was on being a father. And then let me tell you what happened. As far as the Juneteenth weekend, how it went, what happened, what ended up happening with the Juneteenth weekend was what is that? I went, I work overnights, so I got up late. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm about 30 minutes late. I'm still going to try to make it to the event, right? Yeah, it didn't happen like that, y'all. I went, sat down on my couch, and I looked up again. It was about 8, 9 o'clock. I said, well, there was other plans made for the day that I did not know about. So we're going to talk about a little bit Juneteenth tonight. Who do we have speaking to us tonight? We went into the vault. We went into the vault from a show that we did about 4 years ago, 2022. It was what I call my first annual Juneteenth celebration. And we had Dr. Lionel Rush. He is the president of the Interdenominational, I do not want to mess that up, Interdenominational Ministerial Alliance. And he had Pastor, and I invited Pastor Larry, of course, and he had him come up and speak with him. And they spoke to us during that program about some of the history of Indianapolis, and they broke down the history of Juneteenth. As we know, Juneteenth was the history of 2 years later after slavery. It ended in 1865. This is my shirt I got on. Hope everybody can see it. 1865. Juneteenth, 1865. Galveston, Texas. That's where those slaves first knew that they was free. So Pastor Larry and Dr. Rush, they're going to speak to us tonight in the lecture. And I hope y'all didn't think I forgot. I know y'all didn't think I forgot. I know. Hang on. I know y'all didn't think I forgot, but guess what? This show is brought to you by what? Real men. Y'all ain't talking about nothing. But this show is brought to you by Real Men Drink Water. Because what? Our ladies need us to be King Kong in the bed. Oh yeah, fellas, if you don't drink your water, you're not gonna be able to use your third leg. So all the men all over the building right now. Come on, somebody. All the men all over the building right now. What we gonna do? We're gonna go ahead and grab our coffee cup, our sippy mug, our flask, whatever it is that we put our water in, our jug, whatever it is that we put our water in, we're gonna go ahead and grab it right now at this time, and we're gonna have ourselves a drink. Woo! Talk about refreshing. Talk about refreshing. Well, let us hear our testimonial at this time.
When I look down, thanks be to God. Thanks be to God. When I look down, I can see the rod.
One more time.
When I look down, thanks be to God. Thanks be to God. When I look down, I can see the rod.
And 3 times for the Trinity.
When I look down, thanks be to God. Thanks be to God. When I look down, I can see the rod.
That's it. That's it. When I look down, come on, somebody. When I look down, thanks be to God, I can see the rod. Well, once again, like I said tonight, we are speaking on, well, Dr. Rush and Pastor Larry, they're going to be speaking on Juneteenth. And I thought it'd be a very good idea to have this conversation, because it's a pivotal year. 250 far as the Independence holiday, and people are celebrating as if, you know, it's their independence. But we know of a great scholar by the name of Frederick Douglass. Come on, somebody. Frederick Douglass. Y'all not talking about nothing on tonight. A great scholar by the name of Frederick Douglass, who he wrote, "What to the slave?" Come on, somebody. What to the slave is the 4th of July, or July. I go to say July. But he asked that question because of how people have been celebrating and carrying on and saying it is our independence, but how could it be when this country was built? When this country was built on the backs of black people. And then it is so much more that goes with this history, because some black people, family, history, legacy, never was enslaved. How do you put those two together? Ooh-wee. Well, all I got for you is stay tuned to the lecture, to the words, wonderful wisdom by Dr. Lionel Rush and Pastor Larry Bates. Until then, we will see you next week. Yours truly, Tyrant Joe, will be in the building for the lecture. Peace. Be blessed. Yes, sir. All right, go ahead.
And then a brief history of Juneteenth by Pastor, Bishop, Dr. Lionel Rush, president of the, make sure I read it because he knows, International Ministerial Alliance of Indianapolis. Let's show some love. Bishop.
Yeah, I think that might be. All right.
Show some more love. Dr. Pastor Lionel.
We are excited to, is this mic on?
Yes, sir. Uh-oh, it should be on. Tap on it real quick.
Testing 1 2, testing 1
Yeah, I
2.
can hear. I can hear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, we're glad to be here for the first annual Juneteenth celebration.
Yes, sir.
My mama's name is Geneva Elizabeth Stone Rush. She was the mother of 19 children, all single birth. Jean Clem, Junior Armadale, Marshall, Bobby Titus, Carla Vernon, Grace Beers, Hershey, Doris, Owner, Larry, Lionel, Barbara Linda Joe. I'm number 16 of 19. And she taught us before you go out to the world, you ought to go into God. So let's pray. Eternal God, we thank you for your goodness, your mercy, your love. We thank you that you are the only thing that appear right in a world gone wrong. And we bless your name and we lift you up. We thank you for a faith that galvanizes us, that motivates us, that instructs us, that teaches us. And so as we are here, Lord, and we are faced the days of the beginning of the summer season, though we have not got to the 21st, the longest day of the year, we're experiencing Death Valley Days weather in Indianapolis, in Minnesota, in Iowa, in Mississippi, even in the ocean. There's a change afoot. So we need your presence. We need your presence, and we need your plan, and we need your power, and we need your provision. And when we get those things, we will give you your praise. And so here we are. Here we are. After the Tops massacre in Buffalo, after 19 babies slaughtered in Uvalde, after Putin, with his aggression, bombing cities indiscriminately and raping 83-year-old women and killing babies, after Delta and the coronavirus, here we are. And we're here because you said we could come. We're here because you have invited us. We pray, Jehovah Roha, the shepherd that gives us these three things: still waters, green pastures, and rest, not just for our bodies, but for our souls. We're here because we're invited by Jehovah Raphi. So many people are sick, and the question was asked, is there no balm in Gilead? And is there a physician there? And yet you have come with your mercy and your grace, and you have taken the diacritical mark away. The question mark has been removed, and you replace it with an exclamation point and said, there is a balm in Gilead, and there is a physician there. And so we come to confess that you are not the vice president of worship, but you're the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And as we celebrate Juneteenth, and as the preliminary song declared that we will be free, we ask you now to send the Paraclete, the Ruah, the Pneuma, and free us, because the text said, whom the Son set free is free indeed. So we give you these matters and place them in your hand, and we walk away in faith and hope. Faith and hope. The bird needs two wings to fly. We choose faith and hope to fly, and we'll know we'll be free. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Do I talk now about Juneteenth?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Or do I wait? What do I do?
No, you go ahead and talk.
Why don't you make Larry come up here with me if we're going to talk about Juneteenth? And by
Larry,
the way,
Larry to help?
you all did not say anything about Lady Cynthia.
Wait, hold on.
Look. Now,
I apologize.
now, here's where y'all missing it.
No, I'm about to put the camera on. You go ahead and say.
I'm tell you
that.
why. Let me
Teach us.
tell you why y'all missing it.
Teach
I'm gonna
us.
tell you why y'all missing it.
Teach
And y'all getting ready to celebrate Madam C.J. Walker. Who you think was holding that whole building together all them years?
What?
Who you think was holding it together when they were trying to steal the building?
Wow.
Who y'all think was holding it?
Wow.
Okay, that's the problem with us. We miss all the important ones that's holding us together, because the other side don't want nobody to see who's really okay. Forget it.
No.
I ain't even gonna say nothing else.
Matter of fact,
What I'm saying, she's a shero in this town, Doc.
Amen.
And now, if you notice, when I was a young man working for Canada Dry Bottling Corporation, we used to go all up in Indiana Avenue, and there would be this restaurant here, this restaurant here, this restaurant here, the West Montgomery here, all that kind of thing. I used to deliver pop. Now ain't nothing left,
nothing else
but the Walker building and the white sorority. Y'all, IUPUI came in here and told all them black folk over here, if y'all let us put a university up here, we're gonna combine IU and Bloomington and Purdue, or Purdue. You gotta forget that. Or Purdue, and we're gonna make IUPUI.
Ooey pooey.
And I ain't mad, because they got the social work thing, they got the SPIA over there, they got the dental school, they got the law school that's probably better, because they're only about 8 blocks from every major court.
Yes, sir.
Are you with me? They got the medical school, and I'm a disabled veteran. They all interconnected. I ain't mad, but what they did to us,
teach that.
What they did to us in terms of the black community, when Oscar Robertson and them was over there playing basketball over at doing all that kind of, they said, if you let us be domiciled here, your kids can come to IUPUI. Well, they might have done that for a couple of semesters, but now it's another whole thing. It's taken off. You ain't got nothing on any. Okay, you got the Urban League right there.
Yes, sir.
And you got the Walker building, right?
Yes,
the white sorority had put his butt toward the Walker building. And ain't nothing over there that says anything black.
You're right.
Indiana Avenue, you lost it.
Yeah.
College, you lost it. I mean, I know we just did with Isaac and Cynthia over there at Country Kitchen. We just did right in back of that $700,000 house on Carrollton, $1 million. Man, come on. We got to think it through.
Teach, Pastor.
We got to think it. Oh, I'm talking too much.
No, you're not.
Come on, Larry. Let's do this.
Can we do a proper love and acknowledgement?
Oh,
for
please.
Our sister.
Yeah.
Seriously.
She back there telling us what was going on. That's the other thing. When we got some black folks in the house telling us what's going on, you gotta listen.
Yes, sir.
You gotta listen to what they're saying to us.
And let me, as a young scholar, not knowing, but now I've been schooled. That's why I love my brother, because he teaches all the time. Salute. Salute.
missing.
Absolutely, and the same with me. I didn't know of what great wondrous work she did. So we are thankful for your support and what you have done for the community.
Now I know that Larry's got a segment, but I did want to at least, and I just want to hit it a bit because we're talking about Juneteenth and what that's about, right? If you only start in Galveston, Texas, you will have missed Juneteenth. Mm-hmm. If that's where you start, you missed it. You got to start where Larry said when he walked in with the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. You got to start when Larry said they didn't steal it.
Took it.
They strong arm robbery. How do you discover something that you already there? I ain't discovered that. So these people was already here. And so to think about Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a compilation of two words, June and the 19th. The 19th is about when the general came to Galveston, Texas, and finally told the black folks there about the Emancipation Proclamation that was signed 1863, January the 1st. So that was nearly 2 years after. But if that's where you start, then you miss it.
That's right.
You got to start when Europeans went to the Pope and says, is it all right to enslave the Africans? And the religionists at that time says, we're tripartite, summa, pneuma, and psyche, body, soul, and spirit. And he said, if you can save their souls, it's all right to enslave their bodies. Now, come on. Larry, you a preacher. That ain't the Jesus you know.
Come on.
You believe in holistic salvation.
That's right.
Don't y'all talk about in church? He saved to the utmost.
Yeah.
Come on, what utmost? Don't put me in jail. Tell me you saved my soul. We're gonna have a problem. Gonna be trouble. No.
Good trouble.
Come on, teach.
Does that make any sense? So it was about economics, and so this horrible triangle that starts in England, just for part of this story, goes to Africa. And come on, if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it.
Come on, teach.
Let's talk about it.
Yes, sir.
Break it down and we'll be, no, let's talk about it. Dinka, white folks in London and Liverpool did not go in the inner interior of West Africa. Y'all got in this town G's and vice lords. Every day, pow. Gee, I'm wearing red, you wearing blue. Y'all got out there, Crips and Blood, every day. Well, there was Yoruba, Dinka, all those different tribes that was warring and fighting. And so it's colorism and racism here, but it was tribalism there. Mm-hmm. So when they caught you out there hunting, they caught you riding dirty. Boom, they got you. So when the folk came from Liverpool and they brought the then dope, they brought the then crack, was molasses, rum. They brought the little trinkets, they brought the gold, and most of all, they brought the guns. They said, you give us that black person over there for these things. They kept them in this church, and then they would load up. It's called the Middle Passage. It's two ways: tight fitters or loose fitters. Tight fitters, 1,200 Africans. The men would be buttocks against crotch. If they defecated on the person in back of them. If they urinated in the person in front of them. The women would be butter naked, prey for the rapist European, walking around the boat. It was so hellish. That 70 to 90-day journey was so hellish that when the African died, the other would pray and say, "Gone they to be with their Lord. They're better off than us. We don't know where we're going. All we did was go out and hunt, and we'll never see that place again." So when they got to the end of that journey, they either went to the islands, the Caribbean, Haiti, or they went to South America, or they went to a coast up north in the Carolinas where they were going to be involved with tobacco and indigo. If they went around Florida toward Louisiana, it's going to be sugar canes there.
Mhm,
They were either
right.
chopping sugar canes. They were chopping sugar canes in the Caribbean to make sugar and molasses with yeast. They would take that to up the coast of Virginia and New York, and then take it back. They would make rum and molasses out of that. That's what this whole thing is about. 50,000 barges. Even the banks y'all got right now, these banks were founded on that. The banks right now you got. Central Park up in New York, dead black bodies in there. Nearly every president y'all had, either from George Washington, I've been to George Washington place, I've seen where they have the slaves, I've seen where his house, St. Augustine, all of those people on the Mississippi River, all those, the biggest economy was a slave economy. So in 1808, it was decided that there would not be any more transportation of slaves from West Africa in this horrible, horrible triangle. So when they did that, that meant that it was against the law to import slaves. So guess what happened? They start smuggling slaves. If you thought the Middle Passage was bad legally, it was horrific illegally. And then they went up to Virginia, and they had what they call farms. Just like they produce cows, they produce slaves. The term MF that you got, you think is scurrilous language. But that was a term because they didn't see mothers or sisters. All they saw was animals. You were chattel. Those terms come from this industry.
Mhm.
At the same time, the way Juneteenth connects, somebody said it, when they came over and landed on Plymouth Rock or whatever, the indigenous people that were here, they used two words, a Spanish word, Dios, God, and polis, a Greek word. So for this city, they call the indigenous people in Dios. You're so beautiful, you look, I can see God in you. That's what they did when they first came here. The indentured slaves, those people that came out of prison from England, from all that sort of thing, and they were ingratiated because those people taught them how to plant maize and all that sort of thing. And then they said, you look like God, and they start pushing them and killing them and pushing them. So all of these places, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, all of them are Indian names. Every one of them are Indian names. Miami, Indian name, all these Indian names. So on the one hand, you got that history. I'm trying to move us to Juneteenth, how we get to Juneteenth. You got that history. And now most of the Indios, these beautiful people, are on reservations. And they just got citizenship in America, their own place, in 1921. Just got citizenship in 1921. I get citizens in my own place. So this place where you get the idea of Juneteenth, this place was in Galveston, Texas. Galveston is on the southwest side of the Gulf of Mexico. It was at one time the capital of Texas, not Dallas, not Houston, not any of those big cities, because just like Corydon was the capital of Indiana, not Indianapolis. Why? Because they didn't have no cars, they didn't have no trucks, they didn't have you move by waterways. So if you had to be near the water to be important then. And at that time, Mexico owned Texas. So they were fighting the Spanish. They were fighting the Spanish to liberate themselves. The French came over to help them. They didn't just come on because they were nice people. The French was owning many of what you call French Guiana and all of those places in the Caribbean. It was colonialism. It was just like, for example, in South Africa, Dutch, Amsterdam, Holland, how do you own something as small as you are? They parts up Africa and they did the same thing. And so they were fighting down in what's called Texas, and Galveston was the center of Texas. It was so powerful because all of the products came there. In 1900, there was a hurricane that came through there and destroyed Galveston. But at this time, when President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, liberating the blacks that lived in slave-owning states, that word was heard about nearly everywhere, but not down in Galveston, Texas, which was named for a Spanish count. 1865, the war started in 1861. The war ended effectively in like April of 1865. And in all of the wars that you've had in America, all of them, all of them, Revolutionary War, World War I, World War II, the Spanish-American War. By the way, you've been at war in this nation every year but 14 years. Since you exist, America has been at war every nation, every year, but 14 years. You've never been out of a war more than 5 years in a row since you've been a nation. So 1865, when the war started, of all these wars, you lost 400,000 Americans in World War II. In the war that me and my brother was involved in, Vietnam, 58,000 Americans. You lost 700 to 800,000 Americans in the Civil War. What does that tell you? Man, that cotton, that cotton was important. And them slaves were important. And Americans died over cotton and slave. You had an atomic bomb in World War II, but you only lost 400,000 Americans. Now, it's two things that made you lose: the Civil War and COVID-19. You lost 1 million with COVID-19. Wow. But in this instance, though, 1865 to 1875, war was over, Reconstruction, but you didn't have internet, so the word did not get down to Galveston. This general walks in Galveston and said, these black people are free. June the 19th, 1865. Immediately, the black people heard it. The very first Juneteenth was June the 19th, 1866. Here's how they celebrated. They prayed, they sang, they danced, and they wore new clothes. They wore new clothes because it was the new life. Juneteenth. That's kind of the history of Juneteenth. They wore, they ate. The color was red. Somebody said it's cause of watermelon. I had a fight the other day with the Children's Museum because they're gonna make a watermelon salad. I said, oh no, yeah. Now, first of all, if you're gonna celebrate black folk, go to black folk and let them tell you what's important. But that's the Juneteenth. Those are some of the facts about the Juneteenth holiday. But Larry.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking back to, like you said, the inception of this country. You got to understand, this country was founded on slavery, number one, and the fact that we've been in war again since the inception of this country. This man loves war. War is money. People don't understand it. War is money. People, right now, you got to have tanks, you got to have airplanes, you got to have whatever rifle that somebody's shooting, you got to have ammunition, and then you're going to kill people, and then more people are going to have to go to war so we can keep making money. So here's a problem that has stemmed in our community. Mm-hmm. We go to war with each other. Oh. I'm going to contemporize this thing. I'm going to bring it up to date.
Go ahead.
I think July 1st, it's going to be
where man.
You won't have to have a permit to carry a gun. Now, you still have to have a license, but you don't have to have a permit to carry it. Now, here's the problem with that. I got to go here. Here's the problem with that. That doesn't mean you can conceal this weapon. So when the man pulls you over, somebody need to be listening to me out there. When the man pulls you over and he says, do you have a weapon? And you say yes. If that weapon is not visible, it's a concealed weapon. Yes, so guess what? You're going to jail. Yes, sir. I hope they're hearing me. Yes, sir. Not only is that part of the problem, the other part of the problem is that everybody running around strapped now. So I just happened to pull over in front of you. I'm contemporizing this thing. I pull over in front of you and you don't like the fact that I pulled over in front of you. So now you pull your weapon out and I might be shot, killed, hurt, go to the hospital. My family got to suffer now because you had a gun. When I go back to us growing up, if we got into a fight, we probably fought, and maybe that day or even the next day, we playing together again. On the same day. Same day. Now, and listen, we just had an incident this past weekend. I think 7 people were shot. I don't think anybody died. 2 of the shooters were women. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Wow. Yes, sir. Mm. Y'all hearing me? So for us to celebrate Juneteenth, and we ought to celebrate Juneteenth, we need to be straightening out what's going on in our neighborhood, because many people simply look at this day now as a day off work. We have a summer program going on at our church right now called the Blossom Program. We got 25, I think, maybe 26 kids. We had Monday, we had Mr. Michael Jordan. I don't know. And I'm not talking about the guy to play basketball. I'm talking about a local man named Michael Jordan, who is an awesome artist. Anybody ever seen the mural downtown on Massachusetts of Maury Evans? Yeah. Mr. Michael Jordan painted that. Wow. He's an awesome man. So we had him to come in and talk to the kids, and he started asking them questions, and he asked them who knew about Black Wall Street. Who
Wait a minute, Larry. I went to school out there.
Yeah.
I did my doctoral work out there.
Yeah,
it was absolutely nuts, because one day they said, hey, man, we're going to take you downtown. Yeah. And I go downtown with them, and I see all these chars and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what's up with this? And they said 1921, they got mad at black folks, and because, they're always going to say, a brother look at a white woman, and it's coming. They drop bombs. And I said, I said, and now shut up.
That's domestic terrorism.
Check this out, Larry. This is crazy. When I was in the military, I was a paratrooper, airborne, and we did like reenactment of a parachute jump out of the mode 17 and walk from Nijmegen, Holland over like the old guys was doing to beat up Hitler. And when we were going there, I saw these chars and these bombs where the bombs were. I promised to God when I looked over in Tulsa, I said, "Man, that's the what."
Yeah.
Never mind. Go ahead.
Well, for those who don't know, over 600 businesses was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, on Black Wall Street. Hospitals, banks, airports, 6 airports, lawyers, doctors. I'm talking about educated people, churches. They 36 square blocks was bombed. Now, why do I bring up Black Wall Street? Never again in the history of this country has that been duplicated. I'll tell you why. It's real simple. Because we have been divided. Our community has been divided. Whenever somebody comes along to unite us, they have to go. Male, female, young, old, it doesn't matter. When you start talking about, when you're really saying something that's going to make sense, that's going to bring us together, you have to be silenced. And let me say this about silence. Silence is approval. I'm going to say that again. Silence is approval. What do I mean? If I'm hurting you, if I'm harming you, and if I'm stepping on your foot, Dr. Rush, and you say nothing, I'm going to keep stepping on your foot. Now, if you say, "Hey, man, you know you're on my foot," and I say, "Yeah," your problem got bigger. And that's what's happened to us in America. Our problem has gotten bigger because we've not learned from the past. You see, Juneteenth ought to be celebrated, but we ought to be looking back, because I heard a great preacher say, our ancestors did more with less while we do less with more. Y'all didn't hear me. He said, our ancestors did more with less while we do less with more. We send our kids to school with $200 and $300 tennis shoes on, with jeans that cost $400 and they got holes in them. Their nails are done. They don't take books to school or bring books home from school, and we think it's okay. We have to take Juneteenth and learn from where we've been in order to get, and I'm gonna go back to the Walker Building again. My wife, Cynthia Bates, was the president of Walker for 6 years, I think it was, on Indiana Avenue. I grew up by Military Park, and many people probably don't even know where Military Park is, but it's over on the west side, and this was before IUPUI. It was neighborhoods. You cannot even tell a neighborhood was ever there. You got IU everywhere. And I'm going to say this. I got a degree from IUPUI. Now, Christmas Addicts. Everybody know about Christmas Addicts. Right? What's the mascot for the Tigers? I mean, that was a fraud. The Tigers. The Tigers. Yeah. Christmas Addicts, Tigers. Yeah. What's the mascot for IUPUI? Anybody know? Jaguar. When you go inside the Christmas Addicts gym, now y'all test me on this one. When you go inside the gym, in the middle of the floor is a Jaguar. Am I right? I said, how could you take our school? And let me go and break this down. Christmas Addicts was built in 1927. It was finished in 1927, the same year the Walker Building was finished. Do you know that the Ku Klux Klan funded the building of Christmas Addicts High School?
And sponsored it.
Paid for it.
On purpose.
Because they did not want the black kids to go to school with the white kids. Never in their fondest mind did they believe that Addicts would do what it did, produce some of the greatest minds that ever came out of this city. Why? Because the teachers who came to Christmas Addicts were doctored and mastered teachers. They got degrees, doctorate degrees, master's degrees. They could not teach at white colleges.
Larry, I got a scripture for that one. I got a scripture. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Watch this now. Watch this. Right. The Bereshit in Genesis morphed to Exodus, and it says 70 souls came out of bondage. And then it says that when they were in bondage there, they afflicted them. But the text says, the more they afflicted
Come
them,
on.
the more they multiplied
Come
and
on,
grew.
man. Come on. Look, when God has your back, hear me. I'm gonna turn this back over to Dr. Rush. When God has your back, you're gonna face some hard times. But the issue is, and my motto is, wake up and get up. See, it's easy for us to just say, well, blame it on the white man. The white man this and the white man that. I'm looking at now hiring signs everywhere I go. And there's a shortage of workers. And I see young black people who not working. And then when you say, well, they're hiring, they're bringing them in for $15 an hour and they're giving a $3,000 sign. I ain't working for no $15 an hour. Right now, you working for no dollars an hour. I don't know. I see some of y'all younger in the room, but I think my first job was like $1.88 an hour. But I went to work.
My first job was $5 that I had to walk from Columbia over to street, Illinois, get the bus, go up to Carmel before it developed, get out and mow the grass for all day long. And I got either $5 or $10 for mowing the grass all day long. Y'all count the 8 hours divided into that and see, I got less than you.
Come on. So where we are today, listen, our young folks have opportunities. Entrepreneurship is waiting on them.
Larry, I got one. I want you to stay with me. So what's today?
Thursday.
16th.
Okay, last Thursday. I think I hit you with it. I'm the president of the Interdenominational Ministerial Alliance. This is the officer of the Alliance. This is the secretary of the Alliance and pastor of Lifeline. He's a great soul. So I got this call, like I got the call just before I come here, that says Biden's administration and the Congress just passed a law for $50 billion with a B, $50 billion for electric vehicles. The Biden administration wants to do what the Eisenhower administration did with the interstate, right? Eisenhower known for that. He wants to electrify and set the infrastructure for America. $100 million. The state of Indiana had 6.3 million people in it. The United States had 342 million. State of Indiana is the formula 6 over 342 million, whatever. That's the percentage. That's the fraction. Gave them $100 million and said, you start to put infrastructure stuff through here. They came out a couple weeks ago and said, we got to have a plan by August the 1st. We want to have listening sessions. We're going to have one in Plymouth, Indiana. What? Not Gary, not South Bend, not Fort Wayne. Ain't no black folks in Plymouth, Indiana.
Right.
Ain't hardly no folks in Plymouth, Indiana. We're going to have one in Seymour. And we're going to have one in Indianapolis, but only 60 people can come. And they sent it out. We're going to have it on Brookville Road. I promise to God, I GPS it and still couldn't find this place. So anyway, we got there and we said to them a couple of things. You do know that this is not a novel ideal. You do know that the state of California has done a study on all of this and have already decided that a couple of things is messed up with it. Black and brown people are left behind with this.
Again.
People that live in apartments are left behind with this.
Again.
Because there are three important things if you're going to electrify. It's going to be electric cars. Number one, electric cars at this time are very expensive. Number two, people are concerned about how far you can go with a charge. Number three, the infrastructure. Okay, so number one is being fixed. Electric cars are very expensive, but Tesla and those other people and General Motors and all of them are gearing up. So there's going to be a lot of them, so the price will come down. The second part of that is that there are going to be secondhand electric cars and the price is going to come down. The third part of that is California has already said that 2035, 100% of their cars, state-owned cars, are going to be electrified. Other states are doing the same thing. Y'all know what's going to happen. There's going to be a glut with electric cars. They're going to come out. And I said to them, this is an iPhone. When I was a boy, there were party lines. Everything I can do is on this iPhone now. I don't have no typewriter. I don't have all this junk. Everything's done. This is going to come whether you like it or not. So you're going to be able to fix the car situation. And now I filled up with gas the other day, and it was $90. For Ford, $90, man, to get a tank of gas at $5.19 a gallon. Okay, so right now you can charge your car and then go as far as a fill up. So that's going to be able to be fixed. What's not going to be able to be fixed is infrastructure. I said when Eisenhower did the interstate, he came and tore up all the black neighborhoods, just tore them up. They don't get about black. You're going to do the same thing with the electric infrastructure. You're going to place it in white neighborhoods with white businesses. And we said, what's going to happen? Right now, if you buy an electric car, if the battery go out, it's $15,000. We want to be on the opportunities, making the batteries, fixing the batteries. They just discovered that you don't have to replace the whole battery. You can replace part of it. Putting in the electric charging stations, making the electric charging station. We want black people to be involved, black and brown people and women to be involved with that whole infrastructure. And it's getting ready to happen in 10 years. And if we sleep on this, okay, forget it. Y'all ain't even heard nothing I said. So let's celebrate Juneteenth, but let's get on top of this right now. So they said, well, churches can do it. Elia Masonary can do it. 501c3s can do it. All you have to do is get a place that's a mile from the interstate, get a place and have some type of either restroom or soda around it, and you can have one of these things. And right now, it's wide open, and I think we need to get on it. If we're talking about what Larry's talking about, instead of us always waiting till stuff happen, let's get on top of it right now. So I just want to throw that out.
And thank you, Dr. Rush. But for the young people, again, many of our young and let me back up, because I don't want it to sound like all of our young people are not on the ball, because we got some sharp young black people doing some great things. I promise you we do. However, they get overshadowed by what's happening that's negative. That's what's going on. We had some young boys right out of Indianapolis. Their average age was 12 years old, probably 20 years ago, maybe. I don't know. These boys went to Russia to play chess against some champions. Now, that ought to be in the history books. It didn't get talked about. Now, had that been 12 young black boys who went out and shot up a neighborhood, we'd still be talking about it. So I'm begging our young folks, get on the ball. Use the advantages that are out here, because they're out here. We just got to take advantage of them. And look, I'm a guy that I'm low tolerance with ignorance and foolishness. I don't have time for it. Tomfoolery, thank you. I see some young men who there's no way if they walked in my office and I was hiring, I would hire them. And somebody might say, well, that's prejudice, Larry. Well, yeah, I'm going to call it that, because I'm going to be prejudiced when you come to me as a professional. You know, if you're a rich rap star, maybe you can walk in looking any way you want to. Maybe. But if I got a job and let's say I got some women and young girls in my building, I want you to look respectable and be respectable in my presence. I'm sorry. Go ahead, guys.
Larry, this is the text that I just got as we're talking about Juneteenth. And we're talking about, we can be fixated on the color ought to be red and we ought to be eating strawberries and not just think of, but if we're talking about real liberation, America economy is $21 trillion with a T. Walton family just brought the Denver Broncos. 84 families, Cynthia, own more than the bottom half of America all put together. People that work at Walmart is on food stamp. This is a text I just got. I said, I can't deal with it right now. Evening, sir. Here's the text. Just got a call from IMPD who are at the following location, 5241 Bradbury. This is a Super 8. And the owner just notified workers whom are residents that they have sold the place and the workers are responsible to get everyone out. AES just turned off all the electric and the water. IMPD stated most are packed up and leaving with no issue, but there are a few families that have little kids that need help relocating. We are trying to support this situation. We have a community 911 emergency. I can call our officers. Larry and I was headed over here, but we get this kind of stuff all the time. But the issue is bigger than that, y'all, because here's the issue. First of all, I know y'all been following IHA and what's happening there. We got our seniors down there on those high-rise buildings, the air conditioning out in 100-degree temperature, and they can't get up the elevators and all that thing. But more than that, the bigger issue, the big boys have come into this town. Like the more we get free, the more we capture. They didn't come in this town. They bought everything. They bought everything. If you got a credit score of 700 plus, that ain't mean you can go get no house now, because the housing market is such that the people that with the house, they ain't even looking at no mortgage. People are coming with cash offers that got 2 or 3 cash offers that's 20 and 30% over the asking price, and they turn them down. Then those who are involved in the rental side, if your rent was $1,200, now it's $1,500. That's across the board. And so I don't know that we're rambling, but I think that when you're a black preacher, it's pertinent. Everything is. When I was out at Oral Roberts, I preached at a white Lutheran church, and my professor and all them folks came, and I said, when you're in the black milieu and you black pastor in the black milieu, my dear brother, you're not like a white Lutheran pastor where everything paid for, and you come in 23 minutes on Sunday morning. That ain't happening. If you in the my God, you got to deal with housing. You got to deal with Moo and Pookie and them. That's right. You got to deal with and Ray. Anyway, I just wanted to let me say this, because we're talking about the church. The church has kept us together. There's been a falling away from the church. I heard somebody say if this generation doesn't feel that it's necessary to go to church, the next generation is not going to even consider the church. And let me just ask a question as I get ready to go sit down. If you don't want to support the church, if you don't want to be in the church, if you don't want to worship God, why do you come to us when you need something? Wait a minute, Larry. We just got to say happy Juneteenth. The pastor's going to tell y'all happy Juneteenth on the count of 3. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy Juneteenth. We got to go do this.
Greetings, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in to the BzNZ Internet Talk Radio Show YouTube page. We appreciate your generosity and your support. If you are new to the page, please do us a real quick favor. That is, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to let you know when we are live. Also, everyone else that's listening, please hit the like button. Please hit the share button. We greatly appreciate your generosity and your support. Peace.
Listen up. Real men drink water, because our ladies need us to be King Kong in the bed. And we also lived heavy.
Don't you notice how I get quiet when there's no one else around? Me and you and awkward silence. Don't you dare look at me that way. I don't need reminders of how you don't feel the same. Oh, the burning pain, listening to you harp on about some new soulmate. She's so perfect, blah, blah, blah. How I wish you'll wake up one day, run to me, confess your love, at least just let me say that when I talk to you, oh, Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart. And I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it too? Confess I loved you from the start.